Hello, everyone.
It's very, very unlikely.
Trying to get oriented. Never done a live stream on my phone before, so I'm trying to.
Without a definite answer, it would drive people mad.
Do this properly.
It would drive people absolutely insane.
I'm not trying to get
more
people in the stream.
After this. That's true. They did
social media.
Luigi.
You might hear background noise because of I'm listening to news as this is happening.
Sheesh. You never know the FBI staff are retards right now. That's true. What are you guys as good at today's social media? Well, that's the point. A regular person can't shoot somebody for 2 or 3 years.
Okay, I'm going to share this to
People in
X
chat
right now.
Really trying to prove what their high school with the Rangers.
Again, sorry everyone. This is not a computer, so this is my first time doing this.
Obviously, like somebody who's the trained marksman. So people are like, well, an average soldier do it. Yeah, soldiers are trained marksmen. Like they train for years. That's like a significant part of their job.
So everyone, I hope you're having a good day. Sorry to... I usually do a normal video, and I had a video set up. I wanted to talk about the great work, and, you know, how to stick to the great work, and doing the due diligence to, you know, really do what you need to do the great work, and things of that nature, but this just happened, and I had to find a way to go live, and of course, here I am. And the reason why I made it a point to go ahead and figure out a way to do a live stream is because, man, I don't know if anyone realizes, but this is, everyone talks about, oh, you know, we've crossed the Rubicon, you know, type of things. And, man, talk about a Rubicon crossing moment. This is it. This is actually us crossing the Rubicon into a new level of violence because, you know, of course we've had the violence in 2015 and things of that nature where people were beat up and things like that. But this is different because you know, Charlie Kirk is a huge figure in the alternative media and the right-wing media, and for them to be focusing on people like that and assassinating them. Of course, you know, we've had people being, you know, swatted and things of that nature, but this is a new level. This is a new level.
Let's go to this special report from NBC for a moment and see what they are reporting.
I don't know if y'all can hear anything I'm listening to, but
exercised his democratic rights.
It has been reported that Charlie Kirk has passed. He is gone from this earth. Charlie Kirk is dead, unfortunately. And I say that as a person who has not been a fan of Charlie Kirk at all. In fact, I've written articles about him and how much I've disliked his rhetoric and disliked different things that he talked about. You know, especially because like he's always talked negatively about he's always talked negatively about
the first question I just finished. It was kind of a longer question, so they may have done that for 10 or so minutes.
You know, Gnosticism and things of that nature. So that's, you know, one reason why I've never really liked Charlie. Beyond that, I mean, even his politics, like, I wasn't a fan of, because, like, I mean, to me, he wasn't radicalized enough. And I think this situation kind of points to that. You know, Charlie Kirk should have been more radicalized. He should have realized, like, we are in a very dangerous time. And I don't think that he really recognized that too much, or really recognized that enough. And he didn't recognize how dangerous the left wing has really become. With that said, I'll be right back, y'all. Hold on. I wasn't prepared for this.
lot, but I don't think any of you use it. Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years? Counting or not counting day one.
And that's when the shot was fired. No idea whether this.
And he went out how he lived, ignoring real statistics in favor of low IQ rhetoric to mobilize people towards hatred against.
Sorry, I'm back, y'all.
It's true, yeah. Literally, like the last.
So yeah,
where trans
we
people
are in a
black
different era
people,
now.
Like that was
We really are.
Shit, yeah, as he lived.
Charlie Kirk was a gatekeeping SOB.
Trans questions, so like.
You know, and I'm not saying that to talk negatively about Charlie Kirk, but it's more to point out to the fact that, like, many people call Charlie Kirk, you know, far right and things of that nature. When Charlie Kirk is not far right at all. He's not even as radicalized as I was, or I am.
The reality of
And,
exactly after that exchange.
man, I don't know what to say. I really don't.
Just absorbing this in real time.
You know, at first it was said that he might, you know, that he might have been stabilized and stuff like that. But I couldn't imagine that he was actually stable.
The technology's been around, and it's grown. We've seen it grow. But if you're Gen Z, if you're Gen Alpha, and you've been scrolling your phone, seeing this guy, larger than life figure, like Charlie Kirk, larger than life figure. You know, arguing, mixing it up. He was supposed to be speaking with Hassan.
And this is also on the heels of that female from Ukraine was murdered by someone in a bus or in a train.
After an exchange, the likes of which you have seen just
the level of escalation we have that is going on here in America is reaching a fever pitch. The right wing needs to realize this is a civil war. And I've been saying this for a long time, and it's actually in a lot of my cultural videos that
how often is it
that, you know, the right wing isn't taking this serious enough.
I don't even want to talk in the sort of callous detail.
And I'm sorry that I don't have much going on in the way of.
And it's one that we all just witnessed. If you were lucky enough to not have.
Yeah, I don't have much going on in, like, you know, what you can watch with me and everything like that. Sorry about that. You know, like I said, I'm doing this on my phone, so it's, you know, it's not going to work out too well like that. But
I was holding it together okay until I saw
you know, so
he was dead. It was just
when you start talking about who did this and why, okay, they haven't arrested anyone yet.
I was encouraged by it.
They have several people in custody, and then whenever they got the first two people in custody, they said that that those weren't the people, and then they're looking for more. And so there is several people that they've already arrested on this point, and now they're still looking for the person. When I first, let me go ahead and talk about when I first saw this video. When I first saw this video of Charlie Kirk getting hit by the bullet, I pretty much knew right away that he was going to pass, unfortunately. If you, well, unfortunately, I've seen people hit by bullets before, not in real life. I've only seen videos of it. But if you've ever seen anybody that's been shot, you know, in the head or in the neck, you know that is like almost instant brain injury. And so there's several different things that you look for whenever someone has brain injury of some kind. And, you know, one of those things is like, how does the body react? How does the nerves react to the severing of greater nerves? And so, right when Charlie was hit with the bullet, you saw his body jerk like this. And he just instantly started going down like that. He had no balance. No, this is much different than whenever that poor girl was stabbed in the train. There you see like she had consciousness, and she, was able to move her body somewhat, and things of that nature. But in Charlie Kirk's situation, when he was shot, you could see that he lost complete control of his body in almost an instant. And so that tells me that whomever shot him had shot through the spinal cord and then hit his carotid artery on the left.
Playing out something about when they were doing big events.
And, I was telling my partner whenever this was going down, I told him I could tell right away that this is a sniper of some kind. Whoever had done this has some kind of experience in shooting guns from far away, because you could tell that they were at a higher vantage point, because it seems as though that the bullet comes in this way and then it comes out right here near the carotid artery. And blood just spewed like heavily. It's horrible. And like I said, his body just instantly locks up, and then he falls to the side. Definitely had spinal injury at that point, so I knew, I was like, Charlie is not going to survive
We
this.
get like a tentative arrest a couple of days from now.
And like I said, this is not someone that I like particularly highly respected or anything like that. But I will say, like, I'm devastatingly sorry that this happened to Charlie Kirk. I never even wished death on Charlie Kirk. I never would. I mean, like I said, I'm a right-winger, but I'm more radical than Charlie Kirk.
This is just a devastating development,
And it's just absolutely devastating, really. It's something that I really wouldn't have imagined for Charlie. To be honest, I thought he was a little bit more safer than that. I thought he would, take extra precautions for such a thing.
In addition, Charlie Kirk is massive. I think a lot of you
But-
a lot of you guys mistakenly think of Charlie Kirk as like a guy like me because I debated him once, but Charlie Kirk is an enormously influential figure. It's difficult to overstate.
And right now I'm watching left-wingers talk about this because I want to know what their take is on this. And of course, I'm watching, I'm watching Valsh right now. And then the first thing he does is starts blaming Trump for being Hitler, for being the reason this is happening. Like I said, I'm more radical than Charlie and things of that nature. And Trump is far from a Hitler. If anything, I don't know what I would classify him as in regards of other presidents. But he definitely isn't a Hitler. He definitely is an Abraham Lincoln. I really wanted Trump to be an Abraham Lincoln, and it seems like he's building up to an Abraham Lincoln moment, maybe. But he's just not as radical. Trump is not as radical as people make him out to believe. And it's just wild that we've come here, because I've been saying for a long time, like, Trump, you need to get more radicalized. Trump, you need to do something about the left-wing violence. And look where we are. Like I said, since 2015, we've been dealing with the left-wing violence. And, people being beaten up in Colorado, and different, like, Civil War-esque type of battles, that went on during, 2015 to 2017. And now we're here where someone like Charlie Kirk is absolutely assassinated, and it's horrible. It's horrifying. Man, Trump was almost assassinated. Remember? In Pennsylvania. And so, you know, the left-wing violence is only going to ratchet up. The left wing is only going to become more crazy and more violent the more that they see that their, you know, plans are being unraveled, but also as they see that, you know, there really is no punishment for their crimes.
I do remember that.
You know, really, you know, there's a lot more that Trump could be doing and the right could be doing to curtail left-wing violence and things of that nature. But they won't do it. They won't do it because, you know, right-wingers are doing nothing. I mean, for a long time, you know, the left has known we're in a civil war, and like I said, the right wing hasn't been acting upon it. Only the left has.
For the most part, Charlie Kirk's project to
And so right now I'm just watching the news. So if y'all want to watch with me, I'm watching Vaush and I'm watching him do a live stream of CBS News Special Alert. Because like I said, I'm doing this for cell phone, y'all, and I can't really get a screen grab while I'm doing this. But also I'm looking on X right now, and I'm trying to get a feel for what everybody else is saying. Someone that I really respect on X right now just said, 2 kids don't have a father, 1 wife doesn't have a husband, and I have 1 less friend, and a nation has 1 less good man. This is absolutely horrifying. Oh, okay, here we go. Trump has said something already. He says, the great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead. No one understood or had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie. He has loved and admired. He was loved and admired by all, especially me. And now he is no longer with us. Melania, my sympathies from Melania and I go out to his beautiful wife Erica and family. Charlie, we love you. He wrote that kind of weird, so I had to like reform the sentence in my head as I was reading it.
Don't be a fucking retard. You seriously think Democrats in the House are going to start cheering?
This is... People are going to have to get more radicalized in America. I'm sorry to say it, but the right wing is going to have to ratchet it up a little bit for anyone to take this seriously.
The right wing is going to do everything.
You know,
like they're going to make a mark.
The right wing elite are doing nothing because, you know, they can like make money on the fact like, oh, we're the party of peace because look at the left wing and look at their violence.
Don't be dumb.
That money dries up once people stand up. That money, you know, like people stop paying towards these parties that make money off the fact that we're being terrorized by our own neighbors and fellow citizens. They're going to have to. Beyond that, I really can't say much because this is YouTube, and a lot of things that I need to say like just can't be said. But know this, there is going to be a reckoning. There really is, and I'm not saying it because I know anybody or anything like that, and I haven't heard anybody say anything specifically. But I can just tell you from my own knowledge of history and my own knowledge of humanity, you know, like, that's the reason why I got into spirituality and being a priest and things like that in the first place. It's because I understand the human condition, I understand how other humans believe. You know, of course, I do it through a Gnostic point of view, Gnostic Christian point of view. But with that said,
every time that I met him, he had a intense smile on his face. He was a happy boy.
Man, I can just tell you right now, like, people are not going to take this easily at all. And I really hope they don't. I really hope they don't. I really hope people wake up. and realize how much we're being like fooled by everyone in the political system.
To take place in America anymore. We really need to do.
And I hate to say that, I really do, because the last thing I want is, more violence and everything like that, but I think we're past that point. I really think we're past that point. I think that it's time for people to wake up and, start recognizing we are legitimately in a civil war. We have been for a long time. And it's been a soft civil war. But it's been, like I said, it's been ratcheting up. I wanted to get on before it was announced that Charlie had passed because I wanted more things to talk about.
And then we'll the question on the propensity of mass shootings.
But I really want to touch on certain things because I'm not gonna beat up a corpse. You know what I mean?
It's.
This is just devastatingly bad, y'all. I can't.
People are still sort of reacting like
I can't express that enough.
Well, I mean, it's absolutely tragic.
And the thing is that it's been bad for a while in the U.S. I mean, this just shows the level of desperation really in people's hearts and in people's souls. A lot of the problems we're having are very economic, and they're trying to express that through political means. And this is one of the reasons why someone like Charlie Kirk gets hurt.
A little more about what type of father and man Charlie Kirk was. Hard to believe we're talking about it in the past tense right now, but someone who was
a lot of things I keep hearing is like just to understand like how big Charlie was, and like really.
It's crazy.
No one really does. No one really does realize how big Charlie Kirk was. Him actually making a huge foundation of people, going to colleges and having talks and stuff like that. Literally, the second biggest person I would say under him is Nick Fuentes. And that's another thing I think the left wing has really messed up on. Because, like I said, many people call Charlie Kirk far right. Charlie Kirk is not far right whatsoever. I am more radical than him. And I can say for a fact Charlie Kirk is not far right. But there are far right people. Hell, you have people like Nick Fuentes, who are going to rise up in power. Not that I find that as a bad thing, because I welcome it. I want someone like Nick Fuentes to rise up in the political, into a political ascension. And I think that this kind of opens it for Nick. Unfortunately, I hate to talk like that right now, especially since this is, happened so soon. But I don't think left-wingers realize that they literally opened the door for Nick Fuentes to rise up and political ascension. And man, I just there's going to be so many more repercussions because of this. I can't even express it.
Shots fired on President Reagan, of course, President Kennedy being gunned down in 1963, and other political figures have been shot.
I'm going to switch it from Valish right now. Kind of tired of hearing him and his political takes because they're kind of dumb. They're very dumb. I'm going to see what Tim Pool is saying. Ugh. But let's see what this mofo is saying.
So I think the best thing any of us can do right now is just
he's watching CNN right now.
Recovery and pray for their comfort because God help us, we're in a bad place.
Ben Shapiro has just stated. Ben says, like all of you, I'm utterly stunned and heartbroken and sick to my soul today.
Sorry, I'm looking at this.
So
So it looks like Ben Shapiro has released a statement.
A young man eager and determined, so eager and determined that I
And I'm going to read it off.
This kid That kid is going to be the head of the RNC one day. Charlie became even bigger and more important than that.
Tim Pool is crying. I don't think he's really crying, y'all. I don't mean to be insensitive or anything, but I just like.
Charlie was a good man. A man who believed in right and wrong.
Tim Pool doesn't strike me as someone really genuine. I just like he's shown me so many times that he's just not a genuine person. So like I think he's hamming it up for the camera. I think he tends to do that.
He believed in so passionately.
But let's see what Ben Shapiro is saying.
Good people can speak truth and debate passion without fear of a bullet.
Of course, they know Ben Shapiro is a huge Zionist.
Most of all, I beat for Charlie.
He says, like all of you, I'm utterly stunned and heartbroken. Hold on. Oh, Tim had to get off the stream because he was crying. I mean, hey, Tim is someone that was given a lot of money by Charlie Kirk. He was having his bread buttered by Charlie Kirk. He was invited to TPUSA talks and things of that nature. So I could see why Tim would be really upset. And of course, I'm sure they were friends as well.
And they still shot him. Robert, shout out. You have a great show. I love watching your show, 4 p.m.s.
But I don't see Tim like really crying. I don't see his eyes red or anything. So I don't know. I don't want to I'm not trying to start shit, but like I said, I've had my problems with Tim recently. So.
Charlie Kirk, it doesn't matter what your opinion is of Charlie or his politics if you don't view this as
where was I? Sorry, I didn't mean to go in the middle of Ben Shapiro's thing and then start talking crap about Tim, but I'll just start all over again because I don't know where I was. Like all of you, I'm utterly stunned and heartbroken and sit here. That's what it was. I can't hear myself talk. Is what it is. So, like all of you, I'm utterly stunned and heartbroken and sick to my soul today. And it's unimaginable to write these words. Again, this is Ben Shapiro. It is unimaginable to write these words. I met Charlie Kirk when he was 18 years old. A young man so eager and determined that I immediately turned to a friend and said, that kid is going to be head of the RNC one day. Charlie became even bigger and more important than that. It was a privilege to watch this principled man stand up for his beliefs and create the single most important conservative political organization in America. But more importantly, Charlie was a good man, a man who believed in right and wrong, who stood by his biblical values. All of us will miss him, and I can't imagine the pain of his beautiful young family, and we must all pray for them, and we must pick up the baton where Charlie left it, fighting for the things he believed in so passionately. And we must fight for a better America, an America where good people can speak truth and debate passionately without fear of a bullet. I weep for Charlie's family, and I weep for my country today. Most of all, I weep for Charlie. And that's the thing right there, though. Ben Shapiro brings up a good point. Charlie Kirk was a guy that represented the part of the right wing where, they were, open for debate and open for talking to the left wing and trying to find amicability and a balance in how people wanted to take on the problems in the United States of America. And I don't think people realize how much this is going to radicalize other right-wingers. All these right-wingers who were very kind of lame in their ideas, a lot of milquetoast fence sitters and stuff like that, are really going to come off their fences. They're really going to make radical positions that are going to, basically lead to a more powerful right wing and a more egalitarian, more. God, I'm trying to avoid the word fascist because, like, I really don't want to get into fascism. I really just don't want us to get into a fascist moment, but that's where this is going to lead. This is really going to lead to right-wing fascism. And
taking up the cause.
I think that the left has brought it on themselves.
Table and ask you to come and have a conversation with me.
This is the problem.
How do we survive as a nation?
MSNBC just said that, like, Charlie Kirk is someone who has antagonized people with this.
I tell you.
And the thing is that Charlie has only asked for conversation.
We will be rational.
Like I said, Charlie Kirk was never a radical right-wing. I know I've, like, said that a million times already, but it needs to be said because the fact that the left is targeting people who aren't even radical is only going to radicalize more people.
All of us, each
and
every one, his cause.
I don't know. I need to grab my rosary right now.
Terrifying. I've talked about this.
People
talked about this.
The left wing.
Charlie has talked about this.
That's how you know the left wing is full of idiots.
Or solutions. They see
because
towards destruction.
They target if they're going to target people like that, they're targeting the wrong people. They really are. They're not.
I had a conversation earlier about.
And going after people like Charlie Kirk is only just going to make a real Hitler rise up. It really is.
Every day.
Like, I can't put it any softer than that, to be honest. I can't sugarcoat this, really. But this is what's going to cause a Hitler to rise up.
To be wealthy and successful, smiles on their faces. But I look across the political.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm listening to what people are saying real quick.
Trump got shot. He was almost shot again. There was a third plot. That guy didn't get close. I just can't. I don't know how to even say it. So I was just texting him today. It's the weirdest thing. I've talked quite a bit recently about, where I come from on the south side, and it's crazy to hear people, lose their lives.
Man, people, they just don't know what's coming. People don't understand what's coming.
Let me grab some of what you guys have to say.
Like I said, Charlie Kirk was a gatekeeper, a very strong gatekeeper. And he was holding and suppressing a lot of emotions of young Americans. And,
I was getting asked that right away.
Doing it through political avenues and trying to get them to do it through peaceful ways. But now that Charlie Kirk is gone, that funnel is gone.
Like I talk about it,
that peaceful recognition to take on the problems is going to be obliterated out of these young people's minds now. And they're going to become completely radicalized.
A friend of mine said to me,
the left talks about all the time fascism. They're going to see fascism really quick.
Charlie is the leader of the most prominent political organization.
They're going to see fascism so quick.
Turning point USA, it's turning point action.
This is it. This is the moment.
Asked my friend, he's not very political, and I said, "This is."
And that's the thing. Like when the right wing finally does something. They, go straight to 100 miles per hour.
Why we have to?
It's so crazy. It takes like an act of God to even get the right wing to do anything.
But I've explained this.
And then, something like this happens. They become radical really quick.
War does not look like a movie.
This is our Franz Ferdinand moment. This is the moment where Franz Ferdinand is shot in his car, and
There's restaurants and shops all around you.
And then World War I
That's
starts.
it. And then there's a bang.
Well, of course, this
Bang,
isn't
bang,
going to cause a world war.
You know where
This
it's
is going to
coming from.
cause
You don't
a
know
civil
who's
war.
doing it.
I mean,
You
like
fall
I've already said this a billion times, but
After a little
this is
while,
for
people
anyone
get
new
up.
that's in here.
They start fleeing the area.
But this is where the Civil War really turns up. The heat turns up in the Civil
When you
War.
work in any war.
The left has been
It's
pushing
not
it,
like this
pushing it, hurting a bunch of
where two
people,
parties meet
left and
together.
right.
Say, all right, gentlemen, this is the beginning
Since
of the war, so
2015.
be it. There's videos out of Syria during the Civil War, and probably still to this day, where people are walking past buildings riddled with bullet holes to go buy groceries.
You know what? I'm gonna take this moment. Let's pray.
Doesn't become
Let's pray,
Civil
y'all.
War. Honestly, I have no idea. But they just assassinated Charlie Kirk.
Most High,
I got a call.
God above the archons. Hold on.
Who they said to me.
God above the aeons. God that is above the four holies, who sits with far below, the Holy Spirit and the Christ. Hear us in this prayer. Hear us in this moment where our brother Charlie Kirk has passed. Lord God, Father of our Jesus Christ, Father of our Holy Magdalene, who is Mary. Hear the cries of your people. Hear the cries of those who are devastated by Charlie Kirk's passing. First of all, Lord, we ask for justice in this moment. That the person who has perpetrated this evil action to be found, to be caught, and to be prosecuted at the full weight of the law. We hope that this person comes to Christ, but is still punished for their evil actions. For it has been too long, Lord. Too long. Your people have been weeping for too long, Lord, and asking for reprieve. And Lord, I pray, God, that the people, both left and right, come to their senses and cooler heads prevail. I pray that left-wing violence ends. I pray that no more assassinations are carried out. God, Holy Father, let us find solace in your love and in your light. May the Archangel of Justice, our holy patron, Raguel, be over us. And may the Angel of War, Kamuel, may the right people be activated by him. And may it activate our justice system to do the right things. May it activate our president to do the right things, to show the people that someone is doing something, so no one becomes radicalized, so that no one comes to a point of violence. Lord, I say this with a heavy heart because we have witnessed so much pain lately. The poor female who was murdered by a black man in Charlotte, North Carolina. and now Charlie Kirk. And so many people before that. And I know, Lord, people point to George Floyd, but that is one man, and there's so much truth behind what is being said about George Floyd and how he actually died of fentanyl overdose. And so those who are hurt by George Floyd's death need to come to recognize and realize, Lord, may they be awakened with the gnosis that they are being propagandized to, that their heart and their heart full of hatred is directed in the wrong place, God. I pray that your will be done in all things, God. And so I shall close this prayer with your holy prayer. Emanator of living light, shine in us and show us the way. Return us to your oneness through our fiery hearts and willing hands. Make our desires align with yours. Give us this day gnosis and bread, for we are not sustained on bread alone. Unbind us from our guilt, as we unbind others from our blame. Let us not be forgetful or forgotten, but free us from naivety. From you came sovereignty, discipline, and the poetic beauty of life that was, is, and is to come. May these words be our nature, sealed in trust, faith, and truth. Amen. Guys, like, you know, in Egypt, whenever they had their civil war, it was just a random civilian that was hit that, you know, sparked a 15-year civil war among those people. And the situation is such that here, that I don't think it would take a lot to make everything go off here. Because like I said, it's already been going on for so long. We have been facing all kinds of tyranny from every political party. And I don't think it's going to take a lot to get people to really get set off.
Said, we're going to have to find a way to do the studios. Take my studio, brother, it's yours.
I'm watching Temple again.
Everything you want, we'll even get a production crew for you. I was like, really?
He's reminiscing about Charlie at the moment.
I was like, okay, cool. Wow.
Let me see what else is going on
here.
Because
I never felt more famous.
I
what did I do?
it's so horrible.
Everybody else says, there's been 10 grand for this, 3 grand for
God,
that.
it's so
horrible. We do a show and it's like, are you stage set up for you?
Like I said, I wasn't a big fan of Charlie Kirk. He's not someone that I looked up to or anything like that. I didn't particularly respect him, really.
When we had Kyle right now, son,
I thought that he was, you know, a very weak individual.
They gave us a half moon table with big screens.
And I think he was, you know, not using his energy properly. But never in a million years would I call on someone to hurt him.
And that's why
never in a million years would I want something like this to happen to Charlie Kirk.
Hard. He built and built and built.
You know, one thing I do respect about Charlie Kirk is the fact that he worked so hard and that he created such a large organization.
Charlie was my friend.
Man. I can only hope to make something like that. You know, the mystical order of the Nazarene is not even close to being something that big. You know, or neither is the Holy Reintegrated Church. But
It's
you
kind of
know,
wild that
with that
we're coming
said,
up-
and I don't
we're
mean
still in
to
this
like
cycle
try
of
to
assassination, the killing,
you know,
it's going.
go
And
on the
Charlie, I
heels
just-
of a Charlie Kirk assassination and say, hey, join up.
And is that it?
But you have to
Charlie
understand
tweeted,
this. This is why we need
millions upon
community.
millions of views
This
where
is
he was saying,
why
like,
we need to
just
come
the other
together.
Van Jones
This is
called
really
Charlie
why-
race monger.
You know, we need to put our money towards the correct efforts
In George
and do the
Floyd
right
killing,
things
There's no indication of race-based
to
motivation. I don't mean you're
create
you're
an established community
When it was a
and
police
things
stop,
of that nature.
Showed and showed after Floyd was already detected. And
We
they told us for
need to
years
stop acting like we can all
racist
do this
white
alone.
supremacists. And they were
You
right.
know,
This woman is killed in a train.
Charlie Kirk understood that we couldn't do
And
this
Charlie
alone.
says, why
And
won't they cover this?
look at the
Because
establishment he
it's
has created.
But if
Look
race
at
is
the
part of it,
organization
you know
that he
they're
has
being
created.
outraged. Van Jones says he's a race monger.
It's the largest thing that has come around since many
There's videos.
many
It's just-
other groups and organizations that have tried to lead the youth, especially on the right wing.
And this is the middle of the story, and we don't know.
And,
what's
you
going
know,
on.
that's another thing.
I've been getting phone calls.
You know, the
and,
mystical
I was
order of
told Charlie
Nazarene,
was saying,
the Hermetic order of the,
call
I mean,
for Fridays.
the Hermetic order of the
Chris
Golden
Knowles
Dawn.
and me.
Not organization anymore, but the mystical order of
There's no-
Nazarene
look,
and the Holy
There's not being
Integrated
told.
Church.
And that's when he sent me.
You know, we're not, you know, focused on any particular party
Sitting there with my friends,
or political ideology. I actually posted our manifesto on Buy Me a Coffee, so if you want to read that, it's
I
there.
saw that still image.
You can read that and understand like what the mystical, what the mystical order of
I
Nazarene
knew.
believes and what the Holy Integrated Church believes.
I didn't want to believe it.
And
I called everybody I could to tell me that it was not true. And that it was
basically, y'all, we just gotta come together, especially if you're a Gnostic. Like, we are at the lowest part of the totem pole.
King Rock says
We
it wasn't
are
just
truly
the youth
the
of
lowest part
34
of the
and he
totem
brought me to Christ.
And-
Someone was the good in all of us. Rip Charlie Kirk. I just don't understand. Charlie was the nicest guy ever.
You know,
He
people
was strong. He was
look
committed.
down on Gnostics
He wouldn't be
like
pushed
so
around.
terribly.
He was generous. And that's why he succeeded. That's why he
And-
inspired so many people. He was funny.
You know, it's a very dangerous. This is a very dangerous world for Gnostics to be in. Let me just put it
There's
that.
just this, it's just this evil, man.
And so, if we don't come together and have our and realize that we need to come together and make our communities, we're going to be SOL.
I fear escalation.
Like, if there's any group that talks a lot of truth and like talks straight to the actual truth and not the bullshit
The Jersey side
of the left wing or the right wing,
the southern New York metro area.
it's
moved to southern
Gnostics.
Jersey,
And so,
moved to Maryland, moved to West Virginia.
you know, eventually, whenever all
And
these
every time we do
parties
this
and
because
stuff
we're
get
trying to
tired
get
of
away
like
from
shooting
the
at each
conflict
other,
and crisis.
who do you think they're going to
Because
come
it is
for
escalating.
at one point?
Donald Trump wants to send in the National Guard and secure things, and that is
You know,
not a
right
good
now
sign.
they haven't even gone
Right.
after Gnostics
It's not a
because
good
they don't
sign
take us
that
seriously.
we have to do that.
You know, because not a lot of people
I
like
fear the
you know
escalation.
join
I
us
talk
or
about it.
you know,
I
and,
think
and because
maybe
people
you
don't
guys
make organizations. You
all
know, that's
people
actually a
understand what I'm
huge
saying
thing
is
that
some
for
people
some
lie
reason
about because
Gnostics
they-
don't make
Let me put it like this.
organizations. Whenever we were
Our
part
culture is completely screwed.
of
Even
the
our
greater
language is
church back then, we were
racist and white
excommunicated
supremacists don't
by
mean
the
same thing
ecumenical
as they do on the
councils
right.
and whatnot.
The left celebrates.
And we need to
the
realize
death
that we
of
need to
people.
have
Right,
these
the
groups.
right
We need to have
begs the left to
organization. We need to
stop
come together.
doing bad things.
And so if we don't create community,
And bad.
we're
And
only
then people left
going
who are good.
to be in a place
That's true.
where we're more vulnerable.
The point I'm making is,
If we don't
there's
have
a
Gnostic
bifurcation in this
communities,
country that cannot be mended,
we're going to be in a place where
and generationally
we're all
we're
going to
worse.
be Charlie Kirk.
So, if you look at the 90s, and you look at the political overlap that we see from Pew Research, the boomer generation in their 30s.
You know, and Charlie Kirk was one of those
Coming
people
into
that
control
believed
of
in
history.
America more than most people.
largely
Probably
agreed.
even more than me.
There were some deviations.
he understood
Venn diagram, it's a big overlap.
and believed
Today,
that,
completely split.
you
What
know,
does that mean?
whether you were
It's
black,
generation.
brown,
When
purple,
polled,
green, or yellow,
silent generation.
we should all come
say
together
civil war is
and
impossible.
be
Boomers
one
say
people.
unlikely, laughable.
And Charlie Kirk
Gen
really
X says maybe, but
symbolized
probably not.
that from
Millennials say,
on the
"I
right
don't
wing.
think so," and Gen Z says it's coming.
You know, and one thing I didn't like about him is
Most of the
his
silent generation usually, when
Zionism.
asked about the potential for civil war,
You
gives
know?
like a 5% chance. Boomers give it like a 10%.
And like I
chance.
said,
Gen Xers give it like a 20%.
you know,
chance.
this.
Millennials give it like a 30 to 40%
The thing is
chance.
that
and Gen Z
now that Charlie
has it
Kirk
at
is
like
gone,
50 or higher.
you know, the Zionists don't really
Every
have, the
generation
young Zionists don't really
that is
have
born
anyone to
after
look
the
up
split
to. And so
is
they're
separated
going
from the other
to really,
This means that you will get MSNBC
they're going to really start highlighting the fact that
saying Charlie
Zionism
was an evil racist
doesn't
white
work.
supremacist hate monger, and his
is to
hatred,
protect us.
he should expect what happened. That's what the guy said. If you were to
And
say
like,
these hateful
that's,
things, then
that's
you shouldn't be
where
surprised
things are going to get
when
really
these
bad.
things happen back to you. Logically, it's not that long, right? If you call out evil, demons will come for you. I think in this context, it was inappropriate and it was disgusting.
All I know
But that's
is
the point.
we need to come together.
What will the right say?
We need to realize
How will
that
they respond?
this is going
No
to turn
sane
into something
person
like
is going to
that.
sit there and accept this is our reality.
And with that said, y'all, I
Here's
want to
what
say
we
I
call
love you all.
Something has to stop this, and how do you?
Much peace.
Somebody assassinated Charlie
And
Kirk.
always remember the light. And when it's time, the light will remember you. Pray for Charlie Kirk's family. Pray for your families. Pray for the country.
You know what hurt the most?
And please, if you have the
I shouldn't
chance,
say it like that because I don't think it
join the
adequately
Holy
expresses
Integrated
my
Church.
feeling.
Join the Mystical Nazarene.
Losing Charlie.
Go
Sitting there
into
not
my link
knowing.
tree and you'll find everything you need
terrifying.
to join in on that.
That with
So,
everything I
with that
have,
said, God bless y'all. Much peace.
everything.
You know, you're going to be hearing much more about this from several other people. But I have to go.
It's really easy to throw a
I
wrench
kind of
into
overdid
spokes,
this. But
into gears.
I love
To break
y'all.
a machine is really hard to build.
And I hope y'all are doing
Charlie's
okay.
spent nearly 2
And
decades building a
please,
castle,
you
building
know,
an
if you're in a
empire,
bad place right now,
building a machine
talk to someone.
that would make this world,
Talk to
this
me if you
country
need to.
better.
My DMs are always open on
And they won't stop.
X. You know,
Turning point won't let them.
so yeah.
We won't let them.
That said, y'all, I love y'all.
We'll grab some more of your
Go in
chats.
peace. Sure, how to end this.
Taylor Ivy says, Tim, the left doesn't understand this, but Charlie Kirk was unkillable. He had something the left has forgotten. He had legacy. The left embrace the crazy or finally denounce it. That will determine the future, I think.